It started like any other game night. Dice rolled, monsters growled, pizza boxes sat open on the coffee table, half eaten crusts growing cold, and a half elf rogue named Kestrel was losing hit points to a pack of were rats in a dungeon that smelled like wet stone and old blood. But the real battle that night wasn't on the character sheet. It never had been. Does a 15 hit? The GM checked his notes. His name was Gaylor. He had a face that gave nothing away, a poker face, inherited from professional parents who had spent his entire childhood reading opponents across felt tables in Las Vegas and Atlantic City. He could bluff a demon out of its horns, but Anborn had learned to read the small things. The way his tongue touched his upper lip when he was calculating damage, the way his fingers drummed once on the table when he was pleased with a roll. "It does not," he said. "And it is attacking you!" Fuck. He looked up at her then, and there it was, that almost smile tugging at the corner of his mouth. He knew she was terrible at keeping track of combat. He found it endearing. She could tell. "What is your armor class?" 14. Gaylor rolled dice behind his screen. His face stayed neutral. It always did. But Anborn watched his eyes flick to the side as he did the mental math, and she felt something warm bloom in her chest just from being allowed to watch him like this. "Take 12 damage." "That puts me at 2 points?" "No, remember to take the damage from your hit points, not your armor class." "Right, sorry. I don't know why I keep mixing those up." "It's okay." He pointed at her character sheet. "Hit points are on the box toward the... Yep, that box. The one that says HP." She wanted to kiss him right then. She had wanted to kiss him for months. Ever since the first game night, when he had explained the difference between a long rest and a short rest, with such patient enthusiasm that she had forgotten to breathe. She had gone home that night and lain awake, staring at her ceiling, replaying the sound of his voice. "So I am down to 22. Can I attack again?" "Yes, there are 2 of them still standing close enough for you to hit them." "I aim for the one on the right." "Okay, roll your attack." She picked up her dice, a 20-sided die worn smooth at the edges from use. She had bought this set specifically because the color reminded her of his eyes, a deep amber, like honey held up to sunlight. He had never noticed. She had never told him. 26? Gaylor smiled, that real smile, the one that changed his whole face. "Nice. That definitely hits. Roll your damage." She rolled again. "Oh, rats, only 4. He laughed. Actually laughed. "Sorry, just you saying rats while you are fighting were-rats amuses me." And Anborn felt the words leave her mouth before she could stop them. "I like that I can make you smile." He blinked, confused, as if the idea had never occurred to him. "You say that like it's a difficult thing. I smile all the time." "I know, but..." She hesitated. The dice were still in her hand. The were-rats were still waiting, but the words kept coming because they had been sitting in her throat for too long. "I like it when you smile because of something I have said or done. It's a different smile than your general smile." "Is it? I never noticed." "How could you, unless you were looking in a mirror all the time?" He smiled again, that different smile, and she knew that if she didn't do something now, she would regret it forever. "Can I try something?" "Sure, what is it?" She stood up. Her chair scraped against the floor. The were-rat miniatures stared up at her from the battle map, frozen mid-charge. The dice lay where they had fallen. None of it mattered. She crossed the distance and kissed him. He was startled. She felt it in the way his body tensed, the sharp inhale against her lips. But then his eyes closed. His hand rose and cupped the side of her face, thumb brushing her cheekbone with a tenderness that made her chest ache. She deepened the kiss and moved to straddle his lap, and he leaned back, letting her take the lead, his other hand finding her hip and settling there like it belonged. When he broke the kiss, his eyes were dark and his voice was rough. "Is this leading where I think it is?" "Only if you want to." Her voice came out smaller than she intended. "Just want a quickie. Help me clear my head. I can't stop thinking about having—" She slid her hand down and squeezed him through his sweatpants. She felt him harden under her touch, and the confirmation sent a rush of heat through her body. This, inside me. His lashes fluttered. For a moment, the poker face was gone entirely, replaced by something raw and wanting. "Condom." She reached inside her shirt and pulled a wrapped condom out of her bra. She had been carrying it for 3 weeks. 3 weeks of game nights, hoping, waiting. Gaylor stared at the condom. Then he smiled a smile she had never seen before, dark and appreciative and hungry. "You sneaky girl. You planned this." "Yes. Yes, I did. Honestly, I put condoms in my bra every game night, hoping we could—" He didn't let her finish. His lips found hers again, hungrier this time, and she moaned into his mouth as one hand pressed against her lower back and the other worked his cock out of his sweatpants. He broke the kiss just long enough to growl the words against her ear. "Panties. Off. Now." He tore the condom open with his teeth, slid it on one-handed. Gaylor was not a virgin. He was not an awkward geek living in his mother's basement. He owned the house they were sitting in. He had a career. He just happened to enjoy tabletop role-playing games, and Anborn was the only friend in his friend group with free time for a game. Now they were about to fuck before the game was done. She took her panties off, re-straddled him, guided the tip of his cock to her entrance. She was so wet that he slid in without resistance, and they both gasped at the sensation. She sank down slowly, taking all of him, and sighed. Oh, perfection. She began to ride him, a steady, grinding rhythm that made his head fall back and his jaw clench. His hands found her hips and squeezed, guiding her pace. The only sounds in the room were their breathing and the soft, wet sounds of their bodies moving together. "Oh, yeah," she breathed. "I needed this for so long." "Me too." His voice was strained, barely above a whisper. "I'm sorry, I'm not going to last much longer. It's been too long since—" "I'm there too. So close. Oh, Gaylor." "Call me Puppy." "Puppy. Yes. You're going to make me come. You're going to make— Oh, Puppy. Oh. Oh." She came with a wail, grinding down hard as her body spasmed around him. He wrapped his arms around her and held her close, thrusting up into her with a desperate whimper. "Bite me," he gasped. "Please, I need it. Bite me, Annie, bite me." She sank her teeth into his neck, hard enough to leave a mark, a bruise, a claim. And Gaylor came, silently. His mouth fell open in a soundless scream, his whole body locked up, his eyes squeezed shut, and when she released the bite, he twitched once, twice, before slumping against her, trembling and breathless, his hands finding her back and stroking slowly as he tried to ground himself. For a long moment there was only breathing, only warmth, only the two of them, tangled together on a chair surrounded by dice and character sheets and frozen miniatures. Then Gaylor spoke, his voice hoarse but warm. If you think you are getting an extra level for this, think again." Anborn froze, and then she laughed, that full-bodied, contagious laugh that shook her whole body and made her forehead fall against his. Oh, and Gaylor moaned as he pulled his oversensitive cock out of her still quivering cunt, but he was laughing too. Somewhere on the table, a half-elf rogue named Kestrel was still at 2 hit points, surrounded by were-rats, but the girl who played her had just rolled a natural 20, and that was worth more than any experience points in the world.